Today, the tool that we're going to be talking about, it's called repurpose.io. And this tool has the ability to mass distribute your content across every single platform at a click of a button. When you understand the world we live in today, being omnipresent really is the number one way to start to establish your brand as an authority and bring in a lot of business. So today I'm going to be talking with the founder of repurpose.io about the software he created to help automate this process at a click of a button. Also, if at any point you decide you want to try this software out, I've provided a link below. Go ahead, click on that bad boy and you can get started. Let's get right into it.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's been an evolution. It's not like it's been an evolution from the podcasting. We started as a podcasting tool, taking audio content, turn that to video, and then it just evolved more into a video tool. Well, it does all actually. We can repurpose audio to videos, long video into clips, and then now short form like TikToks and Reels to other platforms like Reels, Facebook.
How long have you been running the software?
It's been over 5 years. Sorry, my chair is so squeaky. I'm gonna try not to move. I don't know if you can hear that squeaky noise or not.
Oh no, you're good.
It's annoying me though. Yeah. So yeah, 5 years. We're just over 5 years for this software, and we have other tools we built many years ago, which we still sell. They're about repurposing content to WordPress, like to your blog.
How have you seen the landscape of social media evolve over the last 5 years? Because I'm sure it's a lot different now than it was 5 years ago when you started making the tool.
Yeah. Video has always been the hot thing, right? On every platform, always. From even if you had podcasts, like audio only content, podcasters want to get that into video, like little video clips so you can share them on social, whether it's YouTube, whether it's any other social platform. But recently it's been all short form. Short form is dominating 100%. Like we can see from our users that are coming in now, they're all, I don't say all, but majority are short form creators. And then podcasting, like audio content, it's always been behind in the sense that it doesn't get as much attention as it deserves. But it's always there. People are adding it to their marketing toolbox because it's the best way to consume long content without having to sit in front of a computer or a phone, like right in front of your face while you're driving, gym, that kind of stuff. So I see podcasting, it's always been, at least in my space, I'm hanging out around a lot of podcasters, go to conferences. It's very popular, but now it's part of your toolbox. Whatever kind of business you're in, having a podcast gets that more intimate relationship.
What would you say are the biggest ways, because I'm in the music industry, right?
Oh, okay.
So for me, I look at it and, what I kind of explain to artists is, I think a mistake a lot of artists make is they think that they can just make money off of streaming, right? Which is you're getting paid like 0.003 cents per stream. And so you're spending, 100 times what you're making back, right? So what I explain to artists is it's really important for you to build your brand, build your personal brand, build an actual business around your interests, because that's going to be a lot easier to monetize in streaming. And it gives you an opportunity to develop a lot deeper relationship with your audience, because when you can tie in multiple interests to your brand, it allows you to, get a lot more of a dedicated fan base, because when someone connects with you in multiple areas, they feel like you represent their identity. You know what I mean? So I think that one way that can be done very well is podcasts, right? Because, the problem with short form media is you're only getting like 30-second clips of people. You know what I mean? And it's hard to develop that real relationship with people. But at the same time, we have this conundrum of the fact that, TikTok came out. It's way better at keeping our attention. And all these platforms are scrambling to keep up. So that's the type of content they're pushing. So how do you see people taking advantage of this shift while also simultaneously being able to, kind of build a deeper relationship through long form content?
Yeah, it's like you said, it's like different layers. So short form is where you're kind of casting out this big net. You're like, all right, I'm going to be just, showing you bits and pieces behind the scenes, talking about this, showing you, your personal side, your character. just to attract more people to start following you. And then once they follow you and they see enough of your stuff, and like, all right, I like this person, I want to learn more. And then maybe they'll explore your YouTube channel, or they'll look for other types of content that they can really learn and connect to. Like if you have a podcast, or if you're making longer videos, that whether you're teaching or whether you're sharing stuff that's more about you, but it's longer than that 60-second short form content, because that's got its purpose of kind of catching people's attention. But after a while, it's like you don't really feel like you know this person until you dive in deeper to other content they create, especially when it comes to podcasting. I think that's like, I feel like short form is like this surface level, get a feel for somebody. Once you like them, you can kind of dive into their like longer form videos, and then
Mhm.
podcast is like the next level. You know, they're
And
plugged
when do you
in.
think it makes sense to make that transition? Because I know it's so overwhelming trying to manage a million platforms. It's hard to tell where to put our focus.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you need to have a strategy when you create content. But if you're just getting started, I would just start with short. Like don't complicate it. Just start with short videos, 30-second, 1 minute. Just share stuff that's like worth watching, not like dancing around. Something that shows your character, your personality, your brand, teach something, show behind the scenes, get people to like really get to know you and your brand, right? Whether
Hmm.
you're an artist or whatever business you're in, like people want to get to know you.
Yeah.
And then once you kind of start building that, then you can start making longer content. I wouldn't jump to the podcast.
Hmm.
I would jump to maybe videos, either longer videos, educate, teach, show behind the scenes, or maybe even interview like other
Yeah.
people in the space, like talk to
Yeah.
other artists or other creators or other business owners, or just people that you know. Interview is a great way to kind of grow your,
Hmm.
like people get to see you and get to know you a little bit better.
Yeah,
It,
and no, I agree. I think that
a lot
there's
of times,
different uses to forms of media. And I think a mistake I made for the longest time was just chasing vanity metrics, right?
yeah,
Views, followers, likes. You know why? Because I was getting them. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, but I had a video that went viral on my channel. It got, almost 8 million views. And then it got ripped by someone on YouTube who got like 20 million. And all these meme pages started picking it up. And like to this day on the internet, it probably has like 150 million views. But it only
wow,
made me like $30.
yeah,
And it just like, it just like feels like a punch to the gut. Like I'm getting hundreds of millions of views and it's not making me any money. So that showed me it's like it's not just about views, it's about deeper than that. It's about being able to, build a relationship with this person, own that relationship and then monetize that through an offer. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Views
yeah,
are addictive, right? I hear you, man. You're putting content out. You're like, oh, what's going on here? How much did it get? How do you get caught up in that? But it's not. Views don't equal dollars. At the end of the day, views don't equal dollars.
yeah. And I think especially in the music industry, we get caught up in that because it's such a ego driven industry,
Mm.
especially in hip hop, right? Where everyone's trying to flex their numbers on each other. But in reality, it's like, especially now that we're in this world where everyone's going viral, like
Mm-hmm.
its meaning has lost a lot. It's like when everyone's viral, no one's viral. Like I
No,
know
yeah,
so many people that have gone viral, right? Like it doesn't really mean what it used to. You
yeah,
know?
exactly. Yeah. I think TikTok is probably what changed it, right? They gave everybody an equal opportunity, big or
Mhm.
small, to go viral. Not everyone goes viral, but you have a lot of bigger opportunity. It's much easier to do it, at least in the beginning of TikTok days, than it is on
Yeah.
any other channel.
Yeah, so what I kind of teach artists is it's like I learned it from this. There's this guy Legion Beats who taught me this, which is he made like over 50,000 a day dollars in a day selling beats. And what he taught me was essentially exactly that, which is you can't get caught up in the vanity metrics. You got to focus on owning the relationship. And
Hmm.
when you can own that through like a text or an email, it gives you that opportunity to both control that relationship independent of these platforms that are constantly changing,
Yeah,
as well as make an offer and really monetize that. And then that's where from there, now that you have this content that is putting yourself out there, capturing attention, and you're monetizing it, now it becomes just about expansion. And that's really where I see your tool being a huge opportunity for not just artists but really anyone to really streamline that process. So, do you have I don't know if you'd be willing to like share your screen right now, but like, do you think you could walk us through like if someone had like a post they wanted to do? Like,
Yeah,
is
I
that
can walk
possible?
you. I mean, I'll walk you through it
Yeah.
verbally, and then I'll share my screen while I just load it up
Yeah.
here.
Sorry, I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
It's all good. It's all good.
But like, cause full discretion, I found your tool. I just actually just got back from tour yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to really sit down and like, I chopped up all my content this weekend and I need to go actually distribute it through the tool. But I was poking around on it. I was watching some of your tutorials and I saw how, beneficial it could be, but I wanted to get it, straight from the source on like kind of the best ways to use this tool and how it can really be leveraged by people, because I think with a lot of artists, one of the things I teach is especially with TikTok and these platforms, it's a probability game, right?
Mhm.
And the more times you pull that lever, the higher your probability is, right? So when we can take this one TikTok and we can immediately put it on Reels and Shorts and Pinterest and Reddit and all these other platforms that are now developing short form media, it's just casting more nets and you never know what you're going to pull in. Like I've literally gotten opportunities from content that didn't even go viral. It just got seen by the right person. So
Right.
even just having that being reposted on another platform, even without it going viral, you're just increasing the chances of discovery.
Yes, 100%. People are not only looking for you on TikTok. People don't even use TikTok. They hang out on Reels or Instagram. They go hang out on Twitter. They'll hang out on Link, whatever, right? Depending on your audience, of course. But if you want to be everywhere, especially if you can automate it, right? There's no reason not to be everywhere. There's no harm in being everywhere. When someone looks you up on their platform of choice and they find you there and all your content is there, they're going to connect with you there. Right? Even if you don't have a big following, that one person is a lead or a potential customer. So yeah, definitely want to be everywhere, especially because you can automate it. Right? That's what we'll show you right now. I can share my screen really quick.
Do I need to allow you to?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be good now.
Some permissions, and we'll just do this real quick. So yeah, so repurpose is the platform is all web based. You just log in with your browser, and it's similar to most social media tools in a sense that you need to connect all your social media accounts. So you go to connections page on the left, then you say add new connection. And just like that. So add new connection, it pops up. You can pick all the different types of platforms, like YouTube and LinkedIn, all the big ones, TikTok. I've already connected them up, but basically you click on it, it pops up. You just basically authenticate, allow permission. We've been approved by all these platforms, so
So
we're
with Google
not.
Drive, does that just automatically stores it, or can you pull from there as well?
Yeah, it's a great question. So you see source and destination. So
Mhm.
source means you can repurpose from, or like pull content from. Destination means you can publish content to, and then some of them are both. Like Google Drive is an example where you can go both ways. You can, one of the big thing we tell TikTok creators is to automatically push all your TikToks to Google Drive. Back them up without the watermark, because
Oh,
when you
does it when you push it to Google Drive, it removes the watermark too?
yeah, everything we do on our
Oh,
platform when it comes to TikTok or Reels removes the watermark from it.
wow, that's
So
genius.
it's a
I bet that, dude, you don't understand how, I mean, you do understand, but this is like, I spent thousands of hours just
yeah.
going TikTok watermark remover, download, and then
Yeah,
reposting it. Like, this is,
one by one by one. Right here, it's like I can hit a button and say, okay, send my 100 TikToks to my Google Drive. It won't happen instantly. It'll just start cranking away. In a few hours, you'll have basically all your TikToks backed up
wait,
to your
it'll
Google
scan
Drive.
your whole account?
Yeah, everything, your whole history, your whole
Oh
entire,
my
every single TikTok
God, dude.
ever published. It's
Oh
crazy.
my
I mean,
God.
it's
Because
awesome.
I have, dude, I have like 1,500 videos on my TikTok, and I've been
Yeah,
doing
I
this
mean,
stuff
you'll see them
manually.
all. You can say automatically, just say go, like you can tell them to just crank them all out. And it may, 1,500 may take some time. It just kind of goes and cranks through, but you don't have to be in front of the computer. You just kind of like
Are you able to see data on the videos?
data and sense of,
Like I don't know if you have this on your platform. It might be some cool thing to add in the future if you don't. But like it would be really cool if it could then rank your content by top performing.
interesting. We don't track any metrics yet.
I don't know if they like allow you to on these
Yeah, I
things.
have to look into that. That's a great question. There might be some information about views and shares, but we haven't gone that route yet. But that's something we definitely worth looking into. But there are other tools out there. There's a couple that just focus on metrics.
Mm-hmm.
One was called Measure.studio,
Yeah.
and I think one called Metricool. And those like have a lot of metrics, designed to give you metrics, which is awesome. That's something we're looking into. But right now we're focusing on the automation, basically connecting.
Basically what I did was I went through and scanned all like 12 1300 of my videos, and I picked all the ones that had at least, I think, I can't remember the mention, I think it was like 50,000 views or something. And
Okay.
from all that I pulled out two 300 videos, and then every day I repost one of those videos.
Oh, right
Because
back to TikTok.
what was that?
You reposted right back to TikTok?
So the way I
Wow.
like to explain it is like, think about like your TikTok, kind of like, think about it like a TV show, like Nickelodeon or like Disney Channel. They go
Okay.
spend $1 million to make, whatever show, Drake and Josh, right? Do you,
Right.
when they post that episode, do they only play it once?
Hmm. True.
No, they have it cycling consistently on their platform. Like SpongeBob has been played for 20 plus years consistently. And we don't do that with our content because we think for some reason it's diluting it to our audience. But if you look at the actual analytics, a majority of your traffic is coming from the For You page. It's coming from new eyeballs, right?
Huh. Yes.
And so literally I've had a video I posted. First time I posted it, it got like 500,000. Second time I posted it, it got like 300,000. Third time I posted it, it got like 700,000, and then 100,000, and then 50, and then 500. I reposted about once a month, and it consistently performs every single time.
Interesting. No,
And
no tweaks to it. Like you just as is, just repost it exactly
yeah,
the way it
the
is.
same
Same
video. I'll put
hashtags,
the
same
same caption sometimes. Like, because the truth is, like, like look at someone like me, right? Like, I have 115,000 followers. The last time I posted that video, I probably had 80,000. Right.
Yes.
So I had 35,000 new people that probably have never seen that video, even if it did show it to all my current audience, which it doesn't. Most of it's
Yeah.
coming from new eyeballs, anyways. Right.
Right.
So
I,
there's no real, like, the only real downside is the occasional comment of like, oh, you've already posted that video. But you know what? That's just engagement that's helping boost it to more people anyways.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Any
Right? So that
comment.
doesn't even hurt you, especially if you're consistent with content, right? Like the reason why I'm not afraid to repost is because I'm putting out 2, 3 new videos every single day,
Oh wow.
right?
Okay.
So it's not like I'm just only reposting content, right? Um,
Right.
I'm posting a lot, right? So what I kind of teach artists and just any brand in general is it's like, step one is you try to find what I call is like a repeatable virality strategy, right? So for me, that's teaching marketing through the lens of telling artists stories, right? I find that works really well for me, teaching lessons from people that have already been successful, right? So that's a format I can do over and over and over again that has a high probability of working, right? Like all these platforms, it's a probability game. And there's all
Right.
these strategies we can implement to increase the probability of our content hitting. And one of the easiest strategies is post it multiple times, right?
Yeah.
Because there's an aspect of these platforms that is random, right? Like I was talking to a friend the other day. He said he posted the same video 5 times. One time it got 5,000. One time it got 5 million.
Wow. Wow.
And the reason why is because like the way these algorithms work is it's like they're testing it with like a batch of people. And if the data from the algorithm comes back and is good, it moves it to the next tier. And if it does well with that batch, it moves it to the next tier. Well, you might just get a bad batch of people that just happen to not be interested,
Yeah.
right? And for all you know, that tipping point was really close, but you didn't hit it, right? Versus for some reason, the next time you post it, for a million different variables at play, like it hits. It's a probability game, right?
Yeah.
So it's just pulling that lever as many times as you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Take your top performing and repost. Yeah. I haven't done that yet. Like I hear people doing that, and then I don't know. I'm like, I guess like everybody else thinking, oh no, I shouldn't repost. But you're totally right. Like your audience has grown significantly. So
Well,
it's
like think about
I
this
haven't
too.
seen it.
Think
Right?
about
Wow.
this too. What was the seventh post you saw yesterday?
No idea.
You don't know,
Nobody
right?
remembers. Yeah.
So people aren't thinking about your post.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
scrolling through a million videos, and even if they do see it, especially if you're doing some sort of educational content, but really anything, right? How do you grow your brand? It's about touch points, right?
Yeah,
They
100%.
probably need to see that idea again for it to really be driven in their mind, especially in short form media where it's only 30 seconds of your attention. You can't really learn and develop a true understanding of something in 30 seconds. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So there's not really any hurt other than, our own ego, right? But
yeah,
at the end of the day, like, that's why I like to use that analogy of like Nickelodeon or like these TV shows. It's like, that's IP. You own that,
yeah.
right? And I've gotten opportunities on my 7-3 post of a video. I've
Wow.
been followed by big artists with millions of followers who hit me up and say, "Yo, I love your content." From a video that I made a year ago that I'm on the 7-3 post of.
Wow.
They would have never seen it. They would have never been in my
Exactly.
ecosystem,
Yeah, that's
right?
brilliant. That's brilliant. Like
Yeah.
take what works and repeat it, right?
And you can
That's a
just
common
schedule
thing.
it out. That's the best part,
Yeah.
right? You can just automate this into to a certain extent because there's days where you're going to be busy and you're not
Yeah.
going to have the time to post. Like I'm dealing with that now, right? Like, I'm on all these phone calls with artists. I'm not making content. And then I'm like, I got to get something out. So I just go to my Rolodex of content and I just pick a random video. And to be honest, like when I first started, like I had some people that were like, oh, you're reposting it. It's weird as time has gone on and my audience has gotten bigger. Like I don't really get those comments anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I just don't think that there's so much people making content. There's so many people keep, competing for your attention that it's like our content isn't going to reach our whole audience every time we post it.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely. It's like an iteration, like you said. Like it's like a circular effect. You start with small and they expand it but if you don't hit that minimum requirement in the beginning, you may not hit it the first time, but maybe the second time or the third time. So that's why I like it. I'm gonna try that myself.
Cool. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
anyways, yeah. Feel free to keep going here. I wanted to.
Yeah, so like Google Drive is, you can connect all your different platforms, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. So once you hook them up, then you go into what we call a workflow, like a recipe, basically, where you connect two platforms together. So I'm going to just call this, say TikTok to Reels, for example, the IG Reels. Just give it a name that makes sense. Then you just choose what's your source. I'm going to choose TikTok as my source. Okay. Then I'm gonna upload a video. Yeah, because I want to take my TikTok as a video. You can do cool things like convert video to audio, depending where you're sending it to. But since we're sending it to Reels, it's got to be a video, and I want the entire video. So because it's already short, I want it as it is. Take it from TikTok without the watermark. Send it to, and here's where I choose my destination. I choose Instagram, and I make sure it's set to Reels, which it defaults to Reels. And that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and hit start. My lights in my way here. I'm gonna hit done. And we just made our first workflow. Nothing has happened yet. Nothing has gone anywhere yet. You go inside the view content page and basically you'll see all your TikToks here.
Wow.
Right. And then
Automatically, just click of a button.
yeah, like nothing's published yet, but you see your whole library of TikToks, and then you pick the one that you want. So there's basically, we have 3 ways to publish content. I can just go in, like pick one, the latest one or whatever, and hit publish. I can tweak the captions that I want, the hashtags, whatever I want. I can tweak it here if I want to. By default, it pulls all the data, the title, the captions,
Do you
the
have any
hashtag.
recommendations for hashtags? Like, what has been your experience when it comes to that?
I mean, I learned from others. I'll be honest with you. Like I learned from others, and basically, I've been limiting it to 5 hashtags. Kind of some in the million, and the rest a couple 100,000. So you don't want to, especially if you're, don't have a huge number of following yet. You don't want to try to hit the 5 million, the
Mm.
hashtag with 5 million followers. You're not going to get up there right away. So you want to kind of give a range of hashtags, maybe 5 with different followers, number of followers. Keep
What
it
I like
under
to
a
do
million.
with the caption is ask a question because it encourages engagement.
That's interesting. Yeah, I think I'd ask the question in the video, especially near the end, like the call to action.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
like
I
every
definitely
single
want to.
video, I like to I add a caption that encourages engagement, and then I immediately comment on the video
Yeah,
asking a question that encourages engagement. My goal is I want to get people to argue with each other.
yeah. So, do you do this, or you don't? Or why don't you do this? Or is this a good idea? Yeah, just prompt people to leave comments, because just like any platform, right? Engagement, to like, whether it's follow, whether how
Mhm.
long they watch the video, or just a simple comment. That's what's going to keep telling the algorithm that, hey, this is good content. I'm going to show it to more people.
Mhm.
So yeah, I would say, by default, we have all the hashtag. We would pull everything from TikTok, but you probably want to customize this and change the hashtag depending on the video on
Mhm.
the platform you're going to. For example, if this is going to Instagram Reels, you may want to keep the hashtags and experiment with the same hashtags, or if you have your own hashtags, you can replace them here. But basically, you just hit publish now and it goes, or you can schedule the content for, let's say, I want this to go out tomorrow or next day. You can schedule it right here as well.
Mm.
So that's kind of like what we call manual publishing, or manual publishing and scheduling. But the cool way, or I say the cool way, the automated way, the fully automated way, is to turn on the workflow into auto. So when I go auto, it's going to say, okay, you're about to turn on auto publishing for this workflow, TikTok to Reels. So it's going to say which content you want to publish. By default, we set it to say tomorrow's content. So this is tomorrow's days, which means tomorrow when I upload a video to TikTok, it's going to automatically go to Instagram Reels. Next day, same thing. So anything after tomorrow will automatically go to Instagram Reels without you having to log into the
Does it
software.
drip feed it like each day?
It does it within 1 to 2 hours of when it shows up on TikTok. So, if I publish at 9 a.m., it might be by, latest 11.
Oh, so you're saying when you post it on TikTok, like you manually post it on TikTok,
Yeah,
it'll automatically post it on Reels.
exactly. So
Wow.
auto is like scanning your TikTok account every hour or so, looking for new content. If it sees new content, it's going to automatically publish it.
Is there a way to add like thumbnails, like captions, or sorry, yeah, like like the thumbnail for your video, like the cover?
Yeah, you can set the thumbnail when you publish manually.
Okay.
On auto, I believe it sets it to 0, like the first frame,
Mm.
by
Yeah, so
default.
one thing you can do to have it auto create a thumbnail is just have like the first frame be your thumbnail.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you can use first
Um,
frame as
I
your
do that
thumbnail.
sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so the cool thing is I can go and say auto, and then I can still go back in history and like publish something else. So like these are all, it's set, so starting tomorrow, it's going to automatically publish everything. Um,
Mhm.
Everything that comes in starting tomorrow will automatically go to Reels, but I can go back and like, my old content, I can still schedule or publish it now. So
Mhm.
that's really cool way of basically, having automation and still controlling all the old content.
Mm.
So that's one workflow. We got TikTok to Reels, but you can do this for everything else.
And
Like
you can do Reels to TikTok, right?
you can do Reels to TikTok, you can do TikTok to Shorts, you can do.
So that's probably how I would do it is because like personally on my page, I started creating like a very nice aesthetic by like I go on Canva and just make a thumbnail and then
Mm.
upload it. So what I'll probably end up doing is posting it first on Reels and then sending it to TikTok because you can't do that on TikTok. That way I can have that same like aesthetic
Awesome.
without losing that from the auto publish. Does that make sense?
Interesting. Okay, just one thing to do mention. So you can go IG Reels to TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a limitation on TikTok that basically it's not a full automation. They haven't released that to everybody yet. So what that means is if I go Reels to TikTok, you'll upload the video to TikTok, but you still have to finalize the publishing. It
Oh, it
gives you
puts it
more.
in the drafts.
It puts it in a draft. Then
Yeah.
it's a pop-up comes up. It says, you need to kind of type in all your captions and all that good stuff, and
Mm,
stickers and add audio if you want to. So it's basically call it upload more than publish to
hmm.
TikTok. But that's just short term. They're opening it up to more apps like us and other apps to let you directly publish to Reels. Sorry, to TikTok without this
Is there
manual
a
step.
way to have it post to separate accounts?
Yeah, you can connect
Multiple
up to 5
accounts?
accounts of each type, like five
So I
Instagram
could
accounts.
make like separate TikTok accounts and have the real, or like I can make separate Instagram accounts and have the same TikTok post to multiple.
Yeah. You can connect five reels, 5 TikToks, whatever, and then when you make your
Wow.
workflow, you decide. I want it to go from this account to that account, this account. So you decide when you make the workflow. So every workflow has like
That's where it
one.
gets interesting, right? Because like even with my channel, right? Like I go back and forth between like wanting to focus solely on musicians versus more kind of the creator economy, because I
Mhm.
think it opens up more conversations like this, and I can dive in deeper into other areas. However, I do want to focus specifically on helping musicians who do need the creator economy aspect of this as well. So part of me is like, if I could do that, then I could take all my like creator economy content that isn't necessarily directed just to the music industry, and I could send that to a separate account that just covers that specific topic.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So much flexibility. Yeah, and you're right. Like you want to start, and you can. There's some really cool stuff you can do. Advanced tricks in here, like in the settings, you can say auto publish only content with certain hashtags. So if you want like still automation, but you don't want all your content to go from this TikTok to this Instagram, you can say only ones with hashtag in the music industry. Then you can have only those auto published. And there's so much advanced stuff in there.
That's
It's basically to
wild.
help you automate as much as possible with some kind of filtering based on hashtags. You can have remove hashtags. You can, yeah, it does all kinds of stuff. But the basic concept is public create it once on your go-to, your number one platform, whether it's TikTok or Reels, and have it automatically published everywhere else.
Dude, this is literally a game changer. Like I
That's
hope
awesome.
people watching this realize like how powerful this is. Like, like I was explaining, like, there really is like it really is a numbers game, right? Like, I've told this story a bunch, but I'll just tell it to you as an example, right? So I on my very first project I ever put out, right? Um, I had no idea how to market, right? And I just put it out, got on some playlists, nothing crazy. It had like maybe 1,600 plays, right? But one of those plays just happened to be some random dude in Cuba who just happened to know these DJs. And they heard the song and they loved it. So they like shot me a DM on Instagram and we ended up collabing on a track. Well, one thing led to another. They invited me to come play a festival with them. And next thing I know, I'm in Cuba playing a festival in front of 6,000 people
Wow.
from a
That's amazing.
from a song that had 1,600 plays. I played it live in front of more people than have heard it on the internet. And what that
Wow.
really taught me is you never know who's watching.
Mhm.
And it's not just about these vanity metrics we're chasing. Like our brains are designed to chase those vanity metrics because we want that social proof. When we were in tribes of 150 people, like our brains literally evolved to conform to the group, because if not, that would lead to exile, which would lead to you dying. So our brains are literally conditioned to chase these numbers as a form of validation, which gives us this form of like belonging and acceptance. And so we have to like override that part of our brain and remember like what are we actually trying to accomplish, right?
Yeah.
And so when we can expand our reach through tools like this exponentially, the implications are ridiculous because you never know who's watching on different platforms. And one thing I'm interested in hearing your opinion on is there's these obviously these platforms like Reels, Shorts, right? But do you see these other platforms I haven't really dove into, like Reddit or Pinterest? Like, how do you see these other platforms being used with short form media, and how can people like really take advantage of those?
Yeah, I mean, Pinterest is one that's been really pushing video lately, and they have these things called idea pins, which are basically, I call them like the reels of Instagram. Like, there's video on Instagram and there's reels, and the reels is the hot thing where that's all you see nowadays. Idea pins are basically the same idea. They get a ton more views, ton more exposure, and it's vertical video under a minute. So you repurpose your TikToks directly there or your reels directly to idea pins. So it's like everyone's going video, everyone's going short form video. But from our experience, like I think Instagram Reels always been there, but YouTube Shorts right now, like right now, today, and the next, they're really pushing it. They made a change. I heard they made a change in the algorithm last week where before YouTube Shorts was one thing, and then YouTube, I guess,
Mhm.
Longs or traditional YouTube was another. Now, if someone watches your shorts, they're gonna get exposed to your longer form content, which is like the engines and the recommendation engines have kind of come together. So someone watches your shorts, which gets a lot of exposure to new audiences. They also get exposed to, related videos of your long form video, which is a huge thing, because in the past they were totally separate, and no one would ever know that you even had like longer form content on YouTube. So YouTube short, if you're not doing it, you've got to do it. There's no reason not to. You can just use a tool like Repurpose to automate that.
Yeah.
We've seen people like, we had a brand who builds scooter parts in Belgium or somewhere around there, and we didn't even ask for it. They just tagged us on a post on LinkedIn. It said got videos gone viral. We got like not one video, their channel has gone viral. They're getting contacts, reached out from different people in their industry, and they're just so ecstatic that just by reposting their TikToks, they just got a ton of new customer base, right? That's what it boils down to at the end. They got a lot of views and tons of views, but they got different brands and different customers approaching them from all over the world. They discover them through YouTube and not through TikTok. So the fact that you're on different channels, like you said, all you need is the right person to see it.
Is there any process to kind of like, how do you, because while we're reposting on these platforms, you have people that start reaching out to you. It probably gets very overwhelming when you're on a dozen different platforms. Do you have any recommendations on how to like handle just like all these different platforms at
comments and like,
yeah,
that's true. It is true, because if you're used to going to one, you focus on that one. We use a tool for that. We use a tool called Agora Pulse to basically monitor and to respond to pretty much all the social media platforms.
It just pulls them into one.
Yeah, you log into one dashboard, and you can see all the comments, and you can even set up hashtags as well. So if somebody mentions a certain hashtag, you also can monitor and respond back. It's a great tool, but you're right. You still need to engage in all this. Don't forget, like, don't post stuff on YouTube and people are commenting and then you're not responding. That doesn't look good on your part.
Yeah, it definitely gets super overwhelming, right? Especially if you get things that start going viral, because you'll have 700 comments and you're just like, oh God.
Oh gosh, how do I think? Yeah, I mean, a lot of time, I'll be honest, a lot of times it's more like liking the comment and just saying thank you. Like, it's as simple as thank you for that. Thank you. And just a simple thank you makes a big difference. Like
I've seen it. Like literally, even just when you put thank you, like I've seen a million times where you put that and then you look on your analytics and 5 minutes after you put that person follows you.
Yeah. And then what's interesting, somebody posted something on Twitter once. We're not active on Twitter a lot. We are, but that's not our go-to platform. But they weren't even tagging us. They just someone mentioned the word repurpose. So we flagged that in that software and we jumped in the conversation. And someone responded to me. She's like, oh my God, it's amazing that you jumped in the conversation. Thank you so much. And then now I'm doing a Twitter, audio, I forget what it's called, spaces, Twitter space with them. And we're interviewing, like, you just connect with so many people just by engaging. So it's worth it. I know it's overwhelming, dedicate once a day to pop in and just review comments. And if you want to use a tool, there's tons out there, but we use Agora Pulse. It's a great way to monitor all your social media in one place.
So one platform I'm not very familiar with, I'd love to get your opinion on, is LinkedIn. Do you have any recommendations on how to leverage that platform? I know, like, at least because one area where I see that might be beneficial for musicians is getting connected with the people in the industry that run it. Because chances are the executives and these various people that make the decision makers are on LinkedIn, right? Like, is there short form media on LinkedIn? Like, what would you recommend for that platform?
Yeah, they're pushing video. I mean, they don't call it short, long. They've always supported video. You can do, I think, up to half an hour if you want.
Is it in that vertical format? That, like, what happens if you post in that vertical format?
Yeah, it works. Like, we just repost our TikTok. We use our own software to repost, like, re-upload the video to TikTok, to LinkedIn as a vertical, and it's fine. It totally works fine. There's no reason for it. It's all every platform is pretty much the same. I mean, you gotta post consistently. You gotta do some hashtag research. So I keep it that simple. I'm not like going to spend a lot of time doing hashtag research on a per video basis, because all our videos about
It's
content
overrated.
purchasing. Yeah, so I just
I think
grabbed like
most of
three
the
or four
people that
hashtags.
push like really heavy on like the time of day or the hashtag, they're just trying to sell you something and sound like an expert.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it does help. It gives you a little bit of boost, but you got to kind of weigh that with how much time you're spending. So
And at the
I
end of the
have
day, it's about the content. Right?
exactly,
Like
exactly.
I said with that one video, I posted it 7 times. It's gone viral 7 times.
Yeah, yeah. So
Right?
I
There's
research
a
like three
reason.
or four hashtags, and that's it. Like just three,
Yeah.
four hashtags per platform. I use the same ones over and over again.
Mhm.
There's actually a way in repurpose to kind of set hashtags per platform, so you can have it pick off the TikTok hashtag and put in my LinkedIn hashtag automatically. So that's
Mm.
what there's a setting in there in the workflow setting. So that I keep it simple. I'm always teaching people keep it simple, and then as you go, you can optimize if you want to really, you know, do it per video, fine. But just research within LinkedIn, just type in the hashtag, and it'll tell you how many followers for that hashtag. And then I just grab three or four hashtags max, and then have
Where do you see social media going in the next 12 months?
12 months. Oh man, changes so quickly. Right now it's all short, like short form video, short, 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 short. Um, I feel like that's going to be there for a while. It's just attention spans are just no one has time to watch a long video anymore unless they're like listening to it maybe in the car or a gym. That's more like an audio podcast. Yeah, I still think short form video is here for a while. It's the new norm, like the new normal type of video.
So, one thing I've heard talked about, which is something that, I'm literally doing right now with you, that I'm starting to expand more into is like pillar content, right? So,
Mhm.
cool things about interviews with like this is you can chop it up and create I can create 5, 10 clips from this video, right?
Yes,
So can you
absolutely.
show people how you do that on repurpose? Because I was watching that tutorial you guys have on it, and I thought that was wild how you guys do that.
Yeah, so we a lot like this whole conversation we've been talking about short form, but you can the repurposing was actually designed for long form in the beginning. Like short form is our kind of latest feature. So we have a lot of tools to let you chop up content right inside repurpose. So if you just make a new workflow, let's say I have content on YouTube. So my recommendation, if you're doing short form, TikTok is your primary or Reels. I prefer TikTok, but that's just personal preference. But if you're doing a long form, anything over a minute, go with YouTube first. YouTube search engine, it makes sense to go YouTube first. Then you can repurpose it to, let's say, you want to make some clips and send them to IG Reels. So I'm going to take a YouTube video, chop it up into little clips, make them vertical, and then burn the captions in there and send that to IG Reels with in under a minute.
Mhm.
So this is the workflow I'm creating. YouTube to clips to Reels, and then you choose YouTube as your starting point, and then and so this time instead of full video, I'm going to say clips. So I want to chop that up, and then I want to send this to my Instagram Reels. All right, cool, cool, cool. So when I go inside here, my YouTube, there's a couple things. You'll see most videos don't have anything underneath them. Then I can just go in and create a snippet. So I can go inside here, watch the video, and create a clip right inside here. So I can just like drag these sliders around,
Crazy.
give it a headline.
Start jump right in with the live stream. And so I started doing
Mute that for a second. And then I can add another clip. So you can manually do it. Just watch the content, just watch it, scrub it through here, and then create as many clips as you want. And then when you're done, your clips are here, start time and end time. So that's how a lot of people do it. But we also teach people to do what's called YouTube chapters.
Mm.
So on YouTube itself, you do the same thing on YouTube. If I open this YouTube video here.
hi.
So we do this for all our content. We add chapters right in the description. Chapters just simply means put a time, and you can put a start time and end time, or you can just put a start time and then some kind of text. What is this chapter about? What this does is YouTube likes it because it lets audience, like lets your viewers click through and jump around and watch your content. But number two, repurpose is like, oh, you have chapters. I'm going to prepare the clips for you. So you don't have to make them manually. So that's the big advantage of doing chapters is YouTube likes it, your viewers like it, but also all my clips are ready to go. I can just hit publish and that clip will go to
Why
Reel.
does YouTube like chapters?
I don't know the reason. My gut feel is it's just a better experience, right? YouTube wants to give a better experience for the people who are on their platform. So if someone can jump and learn something by jumping directly to that section, it's instead of them like watching the first 5 minutes, like, oh, this is an hour long. I don't have time. I'm out of here. It keeps people engaged on YouTube, and also
because they might click because they want to learn something specific, and if they don't learn
yes,
that in the first 5 minutes, they're clicking off. Versus like, you know, they might want to learn specifically about one thing. They click that, they like that tip, they go, all right, I'm gonna watch the whole thing.
exactly the whole thing, or just even from that point onward. That's fine. It's better for you to have someone view more than the first 5 seconds. It's like realize, wait a second, this is an hour long. I don't have an hour right now. So instead of them bailing right away, they can just jump into the section they want.
So you can make those chapters, and then you have a way to like template the actual chapter.
So
how do you do that?
Clips are prepared automatically, and then you can go into the settings and just say, you know what, take this video and turn it into a vertical or a square.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
You can customize it here, but we also have a new feature where you can actually design your templates fully, like really brand them the way you want.
Wow.
And then
that link through like Canva or something?
Yeah, we have an integration with Canva, so you can pull it. I'll show you actually.
So could I make custom Canva templates and then upload it to Repurpose?
Yeah, so if you go to my template section right here and say I'm making
oh my god, dude, you're a lifesaver.
So if you go through here and say, all right, let's make this caption, this template here. So with Canva, if you go into the upload section, you can import from Canva. And then just say, okay, everyone likes cookies. So I'm just going to say, okay, give me some cookies. It's all good. So it just pulls in Canva right here. You can pull in your designs, all your designs, or whatever you want. Well, I don't have cool designs, but let's pull in the background image or even a template. Okay, I'll just pull in something from here. And then when you're done, you hit publish, and it sends it right back to the repurposed template.
Oh, so automatically when you hit publish?
Yeah,
you design it through. Okay, I see how that works.
Design it through, and then here you can customize the fonts. So there's some elements like a headline. You say, I want this font for the headline. I want it to be here. This is where the video is going to be. So it's basically taking a horizontal video. Then I want to add captions. You can add your captions. I want to add a background color to it. So you can customize the look of it. You can add a progress bar, that kind of stuff. So you can customize the look of it. And then, progress bar to be this thick. And then once you design it, that's it. You can use that, and every video will look like this. When you go to publish it, take a horizontal video and make it into a vertical video, and put the video here. And then the headline is the name of the clip that we set earlier, either from YouTube here, or you can just type it in when you hit publish. Let me show you. It's easier to explain than to. So let's say I go in and I choose that template I just designed. I go to my templates. Okay, and then when you hit publish, let me just do something with a shorter title. Yeah, then hit publish here. It shows you a preview. I can still edit this if I wanted to. You can see what the video is going to look like. This is my video. This is the progress bar. I can still tweak it, but most of the time you just leave it as is, because your template is good to go. And that's it. I can go ahead and schedule publish or use auto publish if I want to.
That's amazing, man. I really appreciate you for making this. It's going to save me a lot of time. Any like parting words of advice you'd give for content creators trying to grow their brand?
Yeah, it's all about content. And then if you're just starting or you want to grow, start with short form. Just focus on one type of content. Don't try to do it all. Start with short form, start with TikTok or Reels, repurpose it everywhere. And then as you grow, then you can start thinking about different types of content, like longer form, maybe even down the road, some like audio only content, like interviews, or maybe, people in your industry. It's a good way to become an expert by just talking to other experts in the industry and let them share information. And then it's an easy way to create content. So start simple, start short, and then kind of work your way and experiment with different content.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. It's been a
You just
blast.
saved me thousands of hours of work.
I love it. I love hearing that.
Hope you enjoyed that video. If you need any help growing your brand, feel free to click down below. You'll see an opportunity to get a free brand audit from me. I will look over your business, give you some tips on what I think you could do to grow bigger. So if that's something you're interested in, click down below, schedule a call. I'll talk to you soon.